Hello everyone, this is Crypto Maximalist. Welcome back to another video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and get involved if you like the content. So we're just taking a look at Polygon here. As you can see, it's been a pretty turbulent time over the past year or so. We peaked up here. Is this literally on Christmas? Christmas last year we peaked at around $3 for Polygon, which is an absolutely immense value, isn't it? Considering that we dropped all the way down here. A full, what is this? Let me just get my little ruler out. Got down pretty much a full 90% to 30 cents here. A very, very crazy swing low. You can see very, very clearly here that we've been absolutely under the cosh for Polygon for quite some time. Had a very, very nice renaissance when, obviously altcoins got absolutely destroyed when Bitcoin started dropping. Bitcoin obviously found its low at around this time here, the 19th of June. Where it formed its range. Obviously Polygon had a very, very nice return from this level here. I mean, you can see there's quite a few key levels around here. Let me just draw in. There's a decent bit of resistance like this for Polygon, which I thought was a very poignant kind of level, which is actually looking quite positive right now. Let me just make sure that I've drawn this in correctly. Candlesticks only. Looking something like this, potentially. Which I think is quite an interesting trend line, as it shows where we're currently at with quite a few cryptocurrencies actually. Maybe if I just adjust it slightly like that, it makes a bit more sense. Getting, some decent breakouts of downtrends, aren't we? On quite a few of the altcoins that we have seen. At the very, a lot of altcoins had this absolute massive capitulation to the downside when we saw Bitcoin dropping, and you can see Polygon was no exception here. I mean, realistically, we had a very decent amount of support in this area here. A lot of structure that would basically was good support for a long time, but you got that support we're making lower lows and the lower highs and the same low. Eventually we broke through the floor here down to the next level of support, but we just rolled like an absolute beast to the downside, didn't we? On the daily time frame here, you can see come down to this swing low here, chopping it up in this area for a while. We roll over again, probably because a lot of these areas, they never got revisited, did they? You can see Polygon, I mean, realistically none of this here got revisited whatsoever. Anywhere really from, you would say, this swing high here of 4 cents all the way up here. None of this has actually come down and been retested at all. So you can see, obviously, you can go up just as fast and you can come down just as fast, can't you? You can see really that realistically we didn't really have any support much at all on the way up. So on the way down, there's not really any key levels that people were really buying in. Obviously this level here, this area here, you would say, if I just draw this across here so you can see, this was a good area where you would probably get a decent bit of a bounce if you did see the price absolutely capitulating. Obviously a good amount of structure here. You can see we come down to the swing low of that area like this. It does get retested, tapped into here by the price action, and we did get a big reversal from this area. In fairness, you can see here that we have we've been looking, there's some fairly bullish signs from what we can tell. Obviously, you could tell that the bottom was probably in when you see these big bullish divergences like this. The price coming down, the RSI, essentially starting to come up like this. Obviously, the MACD showing the same thing. You can see we come down, we get that overextension into that level of support. And we did get a very, very nice bounce from that area there, basically immediately, with a few trend lines being broken out of. You can see there was a trend line here. Very, very simple. As you can see, resistance, resistance, resistance. We come down, we come back up, we break it, we retest it as support, and we move on. And that's the same thing that's happened with that overall trend line, really, isn't it? You can see we've come up here, retested that resistance here. We've backtested the cross of our EMAs, bullish cross of the EMAs, which is good to see. We come back down, we retest the 20. We're chopping it up here, we're breaking out, we're coming back down, we're retesting. We're basically chopping sideways for a good while now, haven't we, for Polygon? With the market essentially just going sideways, Polygon's doing the same. Really not much going on. Bitcoin leading the market sideways currently. A little bit of a move to the upside over the past few days with Bitcoin as well. But overall, you can see that downtrend that we were stuck under has been broken, hasn't it, cleanly. We broke out, we've kind of backtested it, we've broke up again, we've fully backtested it here, we would say. And now we're starting to move away, really, aren't we? Forming another range. We would say forming another nice little range, maybe something like this. with a fake out to the upside and the downside. You know, test the high, the low, range high. We get the false breakout here, which is, I think this is exactly when Bitcoin started to move up and then had that roll. Come back down, retest the low, low, high. We get that overextension to the downside when Bitcoin was testing its low again, where we retest the trend line, previous resistance as support. Beautiful to see. Obviously, we broke outside the range, but coming back inside the range, retesting it again as support. And then since then, we're on the way back up to the top of the range again, aren't we? Which is where we're currently sitting from what we can tell. And, you know, it's really clean. It's fairly clean sailing for Polygon, you know, back up towards this $1.40 level if we do start to break that out of this range here with a good amount of volume and aplomb. Obviously, we've seen Bitcoin moving up quite nicely over the past few days. And if Bitcoin does start to continue moving up to the upside, we've got that $1 psychological level is obviously a big, big level. But realistically, there's not really that much in the way of Polygon just running straight up towards that 140 level if we do see a good amount of upside in the market, do we? So in reality, the price targets for Polygon right now, we're looking like we really want to be heading to the upside if we break this key level of resistance at the top of this range here. We've got that swing high at around that $1.05 level as well, stuck under this resistance here. But I think realistically, if we broke through this, we'd be heading back up towards that 130 to 140 area, somewhere here, pretty shortly after that. Looking like we are, you know, reversing and making bullish market structure from what we can tell. You know, lower lows and lower highs all the way down, literally all the way down here. We come up, we make a, you know, a same high, a higher low, a same high, a higher low, and then we make a higher high. And then we've come up, haven't we? And we're just, at the minute, we're chopping sideways, basically consolidating. And if we come up and make another higher high like this and backtest, you could start to believe that we were heading into some prolonged bullish market structure, which would be obviously positive for the price of Polygon. So that would be our target if we're heading to the upside. If we roll over from here, it's just back down to the bottom of the range, isn't it, at 75 cents? Probably a swing low around 70 cents here. And if we did roll over for a more extended period, you'd see ourselves coming back down to that 60 cent-ish level here, we'd say, for a back test like this, where you could see yourself doing a higher high, higher low, higher high scenario like this. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks to everyone for watching. Make sure you check out the links in the description below to support the channel. Grab yourself some free money bonuses, and we'll see you in the next video.